Namaste. Today I'm going to talk about a topic healing the fear of being alone and transforming loneliness into emotional freedom. There is a fear so many of us carry, but almost no one talks about a fear that hides behind busy days, loud rooms, and constant connection. It's not the fear of the dark, it's not the fear of failure, it's the fear of being alone. And sometimes it's not even the silence that scares us, it's what the silence might reveal. This fear rarely begins in adulthood, it often roots itself in childhood, in those early moments when you felt unseen, forgotten, or unprotected. Maybe your parents were physically there but emotionally distant. Maybe love felt inconsistent, some days warm, other days cold. Maybe you had to prove your worth for attention. Or maybe the people you trusted the most were the ones who walked away. As children, we don't analyze, we don't rationalize, we internalize. We create a belief. If I'm alone, then I'm not safe. If they left, it must mean something is wrong with me. If no one comes for me, then I don't matter. And so, even when we grow up, a part of us, the younger version of us, continues to fear empty spaces. This childhood fear doesn't fade with age, it just changes shape. It appears when you stay in relationships that drain you because the thought of leaving feels scarier than the pain of staying. It appears when you constantly surround yourself with people, not because you enjoy their company, but because being alone feels unbearable. It appears when silence makes you anxious, when you fill your schedule to avoid your thoughts, when the absence of a message makes your heart race. The fear doesn't say I'm lonely. It whispers, what if no one chooses me? What if I'm forgotten? What if I'm not enough? This fear can make you shrink yourself, settle for less, or cling to people who were never meant to stay. What's the truth behind the fear? Um, let's talk about that. Um, but here's a perspective that can change everything. You are not actually afraid of being alone. You are afraid of facing the emotions that rise when there is no one around to distract you. Alone, you hear the inner critic louder. Alone, old memories come to the surface. Alone, the wounded part of you speak up, parts that were ignored for years. But these emotions aren't here to punish you. Here they are to be seen, to be heard, to be healed. This fear is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that a younger part of you is still waiting for safety, love, and reassurance. So, how healing begins? Let's talk about that. Uh, so, healing the fear of being alone is not about forcing yourself into isolation. It's about creating safety within yourself. Start by asking, what part of me feels unsafe when I'm alone? What memory does this feeling remind me of? What do I need to? What do I need in this moment to feel supported? Let the answers rise. You might be surprised by how much your inner child still wants to say. You can begin healing by writing letters to your younger self, practicing moments of quiet without judgment, breathing through uncomfortable emotions instead of avoiding them, building routines that make solitude peaceful, connecting with your body through mindfulness or grounding. You don't have to dive into deep solitude right away. Healing happens slowly, moment by moment, and breath by breath. So, as you learn to feel safe with yourself, something shifts. The silence stops feeling threatening. It begins to feel like space to breathe, space to think, space to hear your own voice, maybe for the first time. You start enjoying your own company, You realize you don't need people to feel a void. You want people who add meaning. Loneliness becomes solitude, solitude becomes strength, and strength becomes freedom. You will no longer chase people who treat you as an option. You will no longer fear the pause between messages. You will no longer panic when someone steps away. Because now their leaving doesn't break you, and their presence doesn't define you. Uh, Also, let's talk about emotional freedom after this healing. Healing the fear of being alone is not about becoming isolated, it's about being whole, becoming whole. It's about understanding that your company is not a punishment, it's a gift. You are not empty, you are not lost, you are not unworthy of connection. You are learning to be at home within yourself. And that is emotional freedom. When you stop fearing your own presence, you stop fearing anyone's absence. Choosing yourself, heal within, helps find peace in your own and find peace in your own company. I hope this video makes sense to you and is informative. If you want more interesting topics like this, like, share, and subscribe this channel. Thank you so much. Namaste.